In today's episode, I'm sharing with you all of my crafting plans for the holiday season. Hi there, welcome back to Knitting by the Bay. My name is Christy and this is a podcast all about making, but mostly knitting. Today we're having the first snowfall of the season, so I thought it would be fun to talk to you guys about all of the crafts that I'm working on for the holiday season. So I've only started on one project so far, but I wanted to discuss the different patterns that I'll be working on, as well as the supplies that I'll be using. So I have some one crochet project, one cross stitch project, and one sewing project. I also want to talk to you guys about the movies that I like to watch at this time of year, as well as share with you a little update on some of the projects that my husband has been working on with his wood turning. I think that this episode will probably be on the shorter side because I don't have a lot of progress done, just a little bit on one of the projects. But I'm really excited to get started on it. I wanted to share with you all the supplies that I got. So I'm going to start off with telling you guys what I'm wearing. This is my fallow sweater, and I knit this one last year as my holiday sweater. This is a pattern by Anne Michelle Fellon, and I knit mine using Dueck Natura Ulysse in the color cedar and quartz. And then I held the quartz together with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color ballerina to give the deers a little bit of a fluffy look to them. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, I'm wearing it today for the first snowfall of the year. All right, so let's begin with the cross stitch pattern. I have wanted to make this for a very long time. I've looked at this pattern many different Christmases and thought to make it, but didn't get around to it. And so I decided this is the year that I'm going to make it. And it is called Christmas Village, and it's a pattern designed by Thea Dueck for the Vicroria sampler. And I will put a picture up on the screen so you can see it in better detail. But this is going to be quite big. Like, it's going to be 16 inches high by about 10 inches wide. And so I hope that I can get this one done before Christmas because I would love to get it framed, maybe have it professionally framed. So this pattern is stitched on 28 count Cashel linen, and I ended up ordering the recommended fabric that she says in the pattern, and the color is called Smokey Pearl. And so this is just a piece that I've cut off of it, but you can see it's sort of a bluish gray. And I think it's really pretty for the background of like the sky in the back. And the pattern is knit, most of it is not knit, most of it is stitched 2/2. So 2 strands of thread over 2 like threads of the fabric, if that makes sense. And then there are some places that are 2/1, and then there's other stitches like back stitching. So there's a lot going on with this pattern. And I've just been reading through it a little bit, and they give you the chart for the main, like the whole thing is a chart, but then there's little sections, like say this Christmas tree here, where they have given you a separate chart on a different sheet of paper with different instructions. And then each like little section of it will have like written instructions as well, like a whole paragraph about like certain sections, like the Christmas tree or whatever. The lacy sort of border that goes across here will have its own separate chart. And the snowflakes and stuff like that are all separated as well with like written instructions. So there's a lot to read through about this, and it's a little bit more complicated than other cross stitch patterns that I've done in the past, but I thought that that was going to be like a lot of fun to do. And so yeah, it recommends that you use these different threads that I've never used before. So there's a lot by the company Kreinik. There's some by Needlepoint Ink. There's a lot of different threads. And so I went and looked up those threads where I get my cross stitch supplies from, and they were super expensive. Like for a skein of thread, some of them were like, about $10. And I didn't think that it was necessary to go with those particular threads. And so they also have on their website the conversion of those threads to DMC threads. And since I do a lot of cross stitch, I have like almost all the different colors. And so I just converted them all to DMC colors. And, you know, I think that that's going to be fine. I don't think anybody is going to notice the difference in the thread because it's so tiny anyway. And so, yeah, I have all of mine are DMC threads, except for there is a gold thread that they recommended, which is Kreinik number 4 braid, which is this like sparkly sort of thread. I'm not really sure where this is going to be used. I think maybe for some stars, possibly. I don't really know. It's hard. I can't see yet. But yeah, that is exciting. I've never used a sparkly kind of thread before. And so I'm excited to use that. And then it also has some beads in it, which I've never cross-stitched with beads either before. And so I kind of had to choose some other ones because I think they wanted you to use, SJ Designs for some pearl beads, and I couldn't find those. So I just used the Mill Hill Petite Glass beads in like a white color, which I think will be fine. And these are, what are they? Oh, I'm not sure what the size is. It says to use 2 millimeter. So I think that these will do fine. I'm not sure. And then you have some red beads as well. And then some of these, like, they're kind of goldish looking beads. So that's going to be a lot of fun to use beads in the cross stitch. I'm really excited. So I got started working on it and I attached my fabric to these wooden boards that I have. It's like a wooden board frame that you can, adjust the size. You could buy different sizes of these and they just fit together here at the corners. So you can take it apart and use different sizes to make a different size frame. And so, yeah, I attached it and I've just started doing some of this lettering. Obviously, I've attached it not very straight because the lettering is going up, but that doesn't matter. Once it's off the frame, it doesn't matter. And so, yeah, I've started to do the lettering, which it says, I heard the bells of Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And so I've just started that little bit and I made a couple mistakes already with this because my fabric is, because it's the thing is longer than it is wide, the design, my fabric is like higher than it is wide. And so when I attached it to the frame, I've got like more fabric here. And this frame is exactly 16 inches tall. And I think the design space is 16.1. And you can't like thread where the wooden bar is, or I mean, you can't stitch where the wooden bar is underneath there. So I'm gonna have to take it off and move it down when I'm stitching the top and the bottom there. But that's okay. But anyway, what I did was I attached it to the frame so that this is like, the longer, right? But I started stitching on it this way. So I didn't realize until after that I was stitching on the shorter side and that wasn't going to work because, I would run out of room and I wouldn't have enough space to frame it and everything after. And so, I had to unpick that and then turn it around and start stitching this way. And then I also didn't read the pattern properly because for the lettering, you're supposed to just do 2 over 1. So 2 strands of thread over just 1 space. And I had done it over 2 spaces. And I even looked at it thinking, this is a little bit too big. Like, how is that going to fit? But I kind of just kept going with it and I didn't get too far. I maybe did 3 words and then I realized I went back and read the pattern and I was like, oh, yeah, it's supposed to be over 1 square. And yeah, so it is very, very tiny. And I definitely need, like, I have a big light that I have over when I'm stitching, stuff like this. And I've got some magnifier glasses, like my reading glasses, and then I can see it and do it. But I'm loving working on this so far. I haven't done a lot of cross stitch lately, and so it's been really fun to get back into this. And I'm just doing a little bit of it every day. And yeah, it's super fun. Can't wait to have that one finished. So the second craft that I want to make is a cute little crocheted pixie, and it's by Janie Meijers, and it's available on Ravelry. And I think it's really, really cute. And you crochet this one using a 1.75 and a 2mm hooks. And she suggests you use Appleton's Old English Creole wool. And I was ordering the wool when I was picking up my fabric for my cross stitch, which I get from 123 Stitch, and they didn't have that Appleton, so I couldn't find it on there. And so I found a different one, which is called DMC Eco Vita Creole Wool Thread. And I bought this on 123 Stitch as well. And I sent Janie a message before I bought it, just saying, like, I can't find the Appletons. Do you think this would work? And she got back to me and she was like, I haven't tried that one yet, but it looks the same. Like, she looked into it and she said it looks the same. She's so nice to, like, get back to me so quickly about it, just like so friendly. And so she said that this would probably work. And I think that if mine turns out a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be a little ornament for the tree. And so, yeah, this is the one that I got for the body. So it's a sage green color. And then I picked up this one here for the hat, which is sort of like a rusty brown color. And I thought that they would look very close to the sample that she has on Ravelry. And then you're going to be doing, so you're going to crochet the hat and the body, and you stuff them with some polyfill or whatever. And then you are going to needle felt the face on with some like wool roving, which I have already in my stash. And then you're going to do like a cute little collar around it too, with just a little scrap of fabric. And then you can do some beaded eyes, or I was thinking if I can't find any beads in my stash, I think I should have some, but if I don't, then I'll just do some French knots for that. And you embroider the face and everything. And I just thought it was so cute. And then after you're done, you attach these like maple keys from Maple Tree. So I was out looking, like, whenever I went for a walk, to try and find the best maple keys that I could find. So yeah, there we go. So I found this one, and I'm glad that I got it because it's snowing. It's been snowing a lot today already, so I'm glad that I picked some of these up. I have quite a few of them, so I'm going to choose which ones are the best. But anyway, you take these and you're going to glue them on the back as cute little wings for the pixie. And I thought, like, at first I kind of thought, well, these are so fragile, and if you're storing, like, if you do use it as an ornament and you're storing it every year, these might, break or whatever, because they're not very strong. But then, if they did next year, just get another, find another one outside and take them off and glue the new ones on. No big deal. So I'm super excited to get started working on this one, I think, tomorrow. Okay, so the last holiday project that I'm going to be working on is a pair of Christmas pajamas. And I sort of want to make this a tradition every year to make a new pair of like holiday themed pajamas. And so I already had this pattern at home, which is the Simplicity S9856, which is just elastic waist pants and a button up top with a collar. And yeah, I thought about maybe getting a pattern from an indie designer because I really do like sewing from their patterns better, but I already had this one, so I couldn't justify buying another pattern right now. But yeah, I think that this will look really good with this fabric that I got, which is from Rifle Paper Company. I bought this one from Thread Count Fabrics, which is a company here in Canada. I think they're in Manitoba. And yeah, I've bought fabric from there before. And I always saw this, Rifle Paper Company always comes out with a new holiday themed fabric, and I love them. And so yeah, I decided to go with this one, which is all these penguins. I don't know the name of it, but I will put everything down below so you can see there. But they're really adorable penguins that are like ice fishing. There's like a cute ski lift here, and all of these like chalets and everything. I just thought it was adorable. And I think there was this one with a cream background, or also a gray one with either gray or like a teal color. I can't remember, but I just really liked this one with the cream background. And I'm going to be doing the buttons with these kits that are like button to cover kits. And so what you do is you just cut out your fabric into a circle. You find a really cute spot on the fabric and cut it out, and then you cover the button with it. And then the back of the button just pops in after. And then you have like a personalized button. And so I thought it would be really adorable with some of the penguin faces like on the button, or, you know, some stars or the trees. I think would look so cute. So I'm really excited to start on that. I'll probably cut out the pattern sometime this week and get working on that. All right, so those are all my Christmas crafting plans. Now I just wanted to share with you guys some of the projects that my husband has been working on with his wood turning. And I know that this channel, most of you are here for the knitting, but if you're like me and you're multi-craftual, then you might be interested in seeing some of these, like his handmade wood turn projects. So the first one is this beautiful pen that he made. He let me pick out which wood I wanted him to use, and then he had a whole bunch of different kits for the pen parts, and so I chose this sort of rose gold color. And this is like the second pen that he made, I think, and I think he did such a good job of it. I love stationery. I love, like, especially in the fall, I always have to get myself a new planner, and now I have my own like handmade pen to go with it, and I love it. And then he also made this, which is an ice cream scoop with a wooden handle, and I think it turned out so nice. So he purchased a whole bunch of supplies from somebody on Facebook Marketplace because they were not going to be turning wood anymore. They had, I think, arthritis or something in their hands and weren't able to do it anymore. So they were selling a whole bunch of their supplies. So he got this little kit to make an ice cream scoop. And I think it turned out so nice. He also got a kit to make some pepper grinders. He hasn't made one yet, but I think that will be really a fun project to do as well. Okay, so now I just want to talk about some of the movies that I love to watch at this time of year. I watch these every year. And the first one is You've Got Mail. I watch this normally in the fall and the beginning of the winter, and I love that movie so much. And then I sometimes, if I can find it, I will watch The Shop Around the Corner, which is the classic movie that's starring Jimmy Stewart, and it is what You've Got Mail is kind of loosely based on, which is why the Kathleen Kelly's store in You've Got Mail is called The Shop Around the Corner. And so, yeah, I usually will watch those two movies as well as I watch Little Women every year. And I watched the version with Winona Ryder in it because that's the one that I saw when I was a teenager. I went to the theater and I saw that, and I absolutely loved it then. And I still watch it pretty much every winter, and I love it. And I also read the book for the first time last year too. And then that inspired me to create a cross-stitch pattern, which I did, so that last year or the year before, of the Little Women. I'm not very good at finishing my cross-stitch projects. I tried my best, so it does look a little bit wonky, but yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys so you could see the Little Women cross-stitch pattern. And so that's their house, and then those are the March sisters, and then underneath it has, you know, a little picture of the things that they're into. So like Amy has paintbrush and easel because she was an artist, and Beth has her piano, and Joe has a pen, like a quill and ink, and then Meg has just a rose because she was just like the older sister and she just gets a rose. And yeah, that's my Little Women. If you are interested in the pattern for this one, I'll link that one down below, and you could check it out there. Thanks so much for joining me today for a little holiday crafting. I hope you're able to get some inspiration from some of these projects, and I will be back soon to share with you some of my progress. And until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye.
Being gentle with how we feel. There's a charge in the room. I can feel all the fire rising. I'll handle with care. We will honor this tender space, giving time to let go. Peace comes as we pause, breathing in deep until there's calm. Peace comes as we pause, breathing in deep until there's calm. Only I'll make still this weather in me. I breathe in, I breathe out, till my energy slows.